I very much appreciate the warm welcome and generous hospitality extended to me by the members of the Toronto Valley this evening. I also wish to express my appreciation to the brethren that took part in the business meeting this afternoon. This gives me an opportunity to understand a bit better how your valley operates and the fine example of Scottish Rite Masonry that you practice here. I sincerely hope to get to know the members of Toronto Valley better over the next few years to encourage a beneficial relationship for all of us. Toronto Valley is a wonderful example of what is happening and should be happening in Scottish Rite Masonry today. The leaders of the Valley have developed programs that are inviting to new candidates, have given the membership a variety of meaningful lessons through degree conferrals, and along with social activities that promote the practice of fundamental pillars of Masonry, such as charity. I thank you for your ongoing support of the Scottish Rite Charitable Foundation. There is a wonderful sense of fellowship and brotherly love that is felt in this valley. We come from many different backgrounds, cultures, faiths, and nations. How good and how pleasant it is for the brethren to dwell together in unity. And that is the embodiment of Scottish Rite Masonry, and I thank you for that. A long time ago, I met an expert ritualist, one of the best I have ever seen since joining Masonry. I asked him what his secret to his incredible memory work and dramatic flair was. His answer was to work each day, word by word, improving and building on what you have learned until you are the best you can be. I asked him why he felt he had to work so hard to make the ritual as good as he did, and he said, because the candidates deserve it. The lessons of improvement are available to us. We just need to be able to learn and apply them. All through our lives, we are on a path of continuous improvement. But how do we really begin to improve ourselves? This is a story from recent history. At the outbreak of the Second World War, to maintain the production levels and meet demand, production industry had to come up with a system that would allow for incremental progress in production rather than no progress at all, which was very much the reality at the time. This concept of consistent incremental improvement proved to be a huge success and saved the U.S. manufacturing industry from a rapid decline. After World War II, as the part of the rebuild program for Japan, the Japanese were invited to visit manufacturing plants throughout the USA. The Japanese took this successful concept of continuous improvement and adapted it to their own industry. The Japanese word for this concept is Kaizen. Kaizen is the Japanese philosophy and practice of continuous improvement. This philosophy formed the base from which the Japanese have built a powerful manufacturing industry that dominates the world today. So how can it help us enhance our personal lives? And how can we apply Kaizen to Masonry? While Kaizen was originally developed to help businesses improve and thrive, it's just as applicable to our own lives. We live in a world of never-ending disruption and change. By adopting the philosophy of Kaizen, we become more adaptable, flexible, and resilient to dealing with the constant demands and disruptions that we face in our lives. The philosophy of Kaizen is based on the concept that instead of making big changes at once, the continuous improvement approach focuses on making small changes over time. Kaizen is often referred to as a strategy for 1% gains. It is these 1% gains that athletes focus on to improve their performance. 1% gains are incremental, and if you keep building on 1% gains, the rewards are phenomenal. Continuous improvement is perpetual, and so to maintain gains and improvement, you need to work on them unceasingly. When we were initiated into Masonry, we all received the charge to the entered apprentice. Within that charge, it was explained to us that without neglecting the ordinary duties of your station, to consider yourself called on to make a daily advancement in Masonic knowledge. Your personal improvement journey is never finished. What this means is, if you are truly committed to a philosophy of continuous improvement, you are less likely to quit because you are always in search of the next goal. The 14th degree lecture of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite gives us many lessons or messages, and part of that degree lecture says, "We are not to relax our efforts in the pursuit of truth and contentedly acquiesce in error. It is our duty ever to press forward in its search, for although absolute truth is unattainable, yet the amount of error in our views is capable of progressive and perpetual diminution, and thus Masonry is a continual struggle towards the light." Masonry is a continual struggle towards the light. Continuous improvement is not about reaching the big goals in life, but about taking small steps and improving and refining yourself along the way. If you truly desire a successful life where you are thriving, the first thing you must do is embrace and accept that your journey of self-improvement and growth will never end. It is a lifelong journey of learning. Remember that setting the goal is the easy part. Keeping motivated, focused, and on track to achieving any goal is the hardest part. Continuous improvement is a journey of personal growth where you are making long-term, steady progress. It's not about random bursts of improvement with fits and starts of activity. This approach to self-improvement will not give you the sustainable long-term changes you seek to improve your life or to achieve your goals. Once you have created the system, you must break down the system into many small actions or behaviors that have the least resistance and effort. Commit to these actions on a daily basis until your original system is habit. The other important factor about incremental achievement is that you must somehow measure and keep track of your successes. Evaluating and measuring your improvements are important for your own motivation and commitment to the journey. If you are not measuring your progress, your subconscious brain will kick in and sabotage your progress by convincing you that it is all too difficult and you're not making any progress at all. Your subconscious brain only believes what you tell it. In 1952, Dr. Norman Vincent Peale wrote the book, The Power of Positive Thinking. It makes use of positive case histories and practical instructions to propose a method of positive thinking. Peale's work describes how to achieve a permanent and optimistic attitude through unending positive conscious thought, usually through affirmations or visualizations. One of Peale's simple affirmations, and my personal favorite, "Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better." Convincing your subconscious brain that you are improving, feeling better, exercising daily, or whatever you need to do to improve yourself, you will. By retraining your subconscious to believe that you can achieve your goals, you will succeed. Almost everything we do in life can be applied to Masonry. How we set goals and aspire to improve the lives of our families, our careers, and us. We can apply this in our Masonic lives. Whatever you do for your valley, focus on being the best Mason you can be. Support your valley by being involved and work each day towards your own personal goal, whether it's learning a new piece of work or on a committee, or by being an officer. Enthusiastically strive each day to improve whatever you do, one day at a time. Businesses plan to improve over time using the philosophy of Kaizen. To improve the function of our valleys, perhaps we need to consider Scottish Rite Freemasonry as a business. As owners, we need to build our business. We need to be financially responsible. We need to look for new customers or candidates. We need to maintain our current customer base or membership and cultivate team leaders that will be future officers of the Valley. We need practical officer training, and above all, we need to work together continuously to improve our valleys. Here's a few best practices I've read about from a recent deputies conference I'd like to share with you. Officers could attend a professional presentation on how to run and organize a meeting. There is viable improvement in officer leadership when they learn effective and efficient ways to conduct meetings. Have an orientation process for their officers. Give each officer a pamphlet or a job description as to what is expected that they do in that office. And if you're so inclined, to give the lodge room a little more atmosphere, install speakers that can connect to your cell phone or tablet through Bluetooth. You can give the lodge room contemplative musical atmosphere or play it during the degree. There are several downloads of Masonic organ and hymn music online. This is a great way to enhance the portrayal of our degrees. So these are just a few things to consider trying to improve your life in your valley. When you follow the philosophy of continuous improvement, you won't radically change your life or Masonry, but over time with diligence and commitment, you will find that you are living your life to the fullest, empowered, resilient, and thriving. So work on a daily plan. Make small daily improvements to get the most out of your continuous improvement journey, and believe in positive thinking, and great things will happen to you. So I have a few quotes, and being an ex-General Motors dealer, it kind of sounds strange that I'm quoting from illustrious brother Henry Ford, 33 degrees, who was, in my opinion, a second-rate car manufacturer. But nevertheless, he had some great sayings. Nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small jobs. Coming together is the beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. And I think the best one, and I'm sure you've heard it before, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Thank you again, Most Wise Sovereign and brethren, for your attention. I enjoy my visits to the Toronto Valley, and I look forward very much to the 17th degree. Thank you.